you may find himself out there driving truck again. All right, we're up to the top of the hour. Let's get a quick news update. What's going on out there? Hump Day coming on. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
It's a big week for the Biden administration as Democrats try wrangling key pieces of President Biden's agenda through Congress in face of steep Republican opposition. The latest blow to the White House came on Monday when Senate Republicans blocked a bill that would have funded the government and averted a default in U.S. debts. Senate Minority Leader Kentucky Republican Mitch McConnell on Tuesday criticizes his Democratic colleagues.
If Democrats want to use fast-track, party-line procedures to ram through trillions more in inflationary socialism, they'll have to use the same tools to handle the debt limit.
Richard Stafford, an attorney for Gabby Petito's family, is asking her missing fiancé to turn himself in. Stafford added Brian Laundrie's family didn't help them find Petito, and they won't help find him. USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Alaroot for Patriot Vpn. Patriot Vpn is a virtual private network service that uses military-grade encryption to protect your internet connection on all of your devices. With Patriot VPN, your data and internet privacy is secure anywhere in the world. Why do you need Patriot VPN? Cyber criminals, government, even your own internet service provider collect and use your private information without your knowledge. Examples in the news recently, remember all the companies that have been hacked? Cuba censored the internet to kill protests? Here in America, conservative groups are being actively targeted. Your personal information and internet history is being sold by your ISP. It's all happening every day, but not with Patriot VPN. With Patriot VPN, your internet activity and history is protected from prying eyes forever. Patriot VPN is a veteran-owned business right here in the USA. For business or your family, starting at only $6.95 a month, use code WAR and get 3 months free. With an annual subscription, it's all at patriotvpn.com. That's patriotvpn.com.
Busy day on Capitol Hill as Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen also testifying before the Senate Banking Committee after Senate Republicans blocked a bill to keep the United States government funded. Yellen says it would be detrimental to many Americans, including senior citizens and troops, if the debt ceiling is not raised.
It would be disastrous for the American economy, for global financial markets, and for millions of families and workers whose financial security would be jeopardized by delayed payments.
Yellen adding that waiting until the last minute to raise the debt ceiling can undermine confidence in financial markets and creditworthiness of the United States. Jared Ramos, a man who killed 5 people at a Maryland newspaper, will spend the rest of his life in prison. Ramos given multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole Tuesday, more than 3 years after the deadly murders at the Capitol Gazette. USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, and I want to tell you that arthritis is not a genetic thing. It's not a disease of aging. Neither is osteoporosis. Get a hold of my book. It's all in your head. It goes into the 25 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. These are all reversible. You take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the MSM, vitamin D3, stay away from all the bad foods, including gluten, and guess what? You'll regrow all your bones, including your skull and your legs and your hips and everything else. Contact us at usaradiohealth.com. That's usaradiohealth.com.
A Border Patrol agent is speaking out after comments made by the Biden administration over the last week.
Border Patrol agents are mad and upset that leadership is throwing them under the bus, a top official with the agency's union told Fox News in Del Rio, Texas. National Border Patrol Council Vice President John Anfinson tells Fox News.
The agents feel like at all levels of management, from CBP to DHS to the White House, that they've been thrown under the bus because no investigation has been completed, yet you're hearing the president say these people will pay. The secretary echoed those sentiments, and then Friday, of course, CBP's commissioner basically said the same thing. So agents are upset. Images of Border Patrol agents on horseback pursuing Haitian migrants went viral with erroneous accusations that the officials were whipping the immigrants. From the USA Radio News, West Texas Bureau, I'm Brad Bernards.
Ford is looking to expand its electric vehicle plants in the United States with a new manufacturing plant in Tennessee and battery manufacturing plants in Kentucky. CEO Jim Farley telling Fox News, Workers were a key factor in the company's decision to open plants in those states.
The availability of skilled labor in high quantity was one of the key reasons why we're building these sites where they are.
Farley goes on to say the plants will create 11,000 new jobs. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
A Super Farm test puller backs up a tough call. The Trump truck makes a perfect call. And the two-wheel and unlimited champions dial up some long distance at the Enderley. From National Tractor Pullers Association headquarters in Columbus, Ohio, this is the NTPA Overnight Radio Report. For the 34th time overall and the 15th time in West Central Ohio, the Enderley Pull-Off delivered on its founder's promise to reward the ones that run the hardest. And as the sun was setting on Sommers last Saturday at the Champaign County Fairgrounds, the nighttime was the right time for the stars of the 2021 Grand National Circuit to shine. In 9,300-pound Super Farm tractors, Brian Anderson turned down a winning run on the Checking Out International 1206, then turned around and won it again. Jason Benser's Plastic Money, Lee Butts' Press On, Dave Whelan's turn aboard the Ferris's Assorted Nuts, and Russ Freeze's Dirt Tracks were all within 11 feet of the win. In 7,500-pound modifieds, Jeff Rose had his giddy-up triple set on kill and towed the Ironman Green all the way to 368 feet. That edged Tom Owens' Ramblin' Rose for the win and bested Brett Berg's Moneymaker, Doug Christensen's Pack Rat 4, and Corey Kielmeyer's Double Trouble. In 7,500-pound Superstock Diesel 4x4 trucks, defending champion Shane Kellogg was a midweek replacement, and he came to win. His Trump Dodge was too much for season regulars Todd Dukin's Angry Shine and Angry Farmer Penetrating Spray, as well as Nick Gallette's Top Shelf and Brian Withrow's Nut Job 2. In 8,000-pound Superstock Diesel tractors, we were down to 3 after Steve Burge's Lock and Load could not answer the call. Kent Payne's Super Rooster IH-1066 could and did and made an Enderley winning 325-foot pass. Travis Schlabach's Bone Twister and Mike Beck's High-Tech Redneck were only 8 inches apart in second and third. In 2,050-pound modified minis, Chase Richardson's Vibrator may have been shaken loose from a championship, but it got its revenge on Funny Little Farmall with an Urbana win. Sam McCrary's Carbon Copy, C.J. Greshik's Pile Driver, and Bruce Slaw's Show No Mercy were third through fifth. In 6,200-pound four-wheel drive trucks, it was a sweet sound turned sour due to breakage, but Ben Ellis will take it. His Benjamin Chevrolet will need some engine work, but he caught the big check ahead of Jake Zaring's 2 rides, Rule Number 19 and Fathead's Eyewear, Carmen Foster's Foster Child, and Ted Skelton's Rock. In 6,000-pound light unlimited modified, Steve Bollinger's Money Pit laid down yet another A to B pass to win the last hook of the year. Jason Gibson's Youngblood Joker's Wild made arguably its best run to date for a strong second, while past champs Doug Theobald's Full Blown Wicked and Keith Wason's Super B and the Night Train of Mike Shaneman were third, fourth, and fifth. In 6,200-pound light superstock tractors, champion Rex Kuhn requested the test hook for his Commander Ford in the afternoon meeting and made it count. Adam Spiegelberg's Detonator Black and Zach Linville's Ridge Runner were also past 300 feet, while Marcus Wedelson's Gunpowder and Lead and Mark Hootman's Hooter Scooter were behind the traditional finish line. That wraps up the first 8 classes of Grand National action on the twin tracks of the Champaign County Fairgrounds. We'll revisit the final 4, Super Semis, Pro Stock Tractors, two-wheel drives, and Unlimited Modifieds in next week's edition as we tie a bow around the 2021 regular season. But you can watch or re-watch all the action from the regional and Grand National performances anytime you want at ntpa.tv. This Friday, October 1st, Hillsdale, Michigan's Hillsdale County Fair Poll hosts the last national action in the northern United States for the year. Details, as always, at ntpapoll.com. Reporting for the NTPA on the Overnight Drive, I'm John Dunlap. Stay safe and pull hard.
At Hotshot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
Stiction.
Found throughout the oil system, stiction is the sticky friction that negatively impacts your engine's ability to function at an optimal level. The molecular structure of oil is a hydrocarbon. The engine's extreme heat, tight tolerances, and high pressure cause the oil to break down and release hydrogen, leaving behind varnish, a carbon-based deposit. The varnish clings to the engine's moving parts, creating drag on the turbocharger, oil pump, and pistons. Symptoms of stiction include a rough idle and the loss of fuel economy and performance. Hotshot Secret Stiction Eliminator delivers a 98% clean rating in third-party scrub tests. Its synthetic cleaner plus nano lubricant contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Stiction Eliminator is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com. Hot Shot Secret. Powered by science.
All right, thank you much. Back at it here on a Wednesday. Hump Day coming on. Meanwhile, Hurricane Sam continues its long journey as a major hurricane across the Atlantic. The good news, as we learned several days ago, it will stay way out to sea, well out to sea, avoiding direct impact on the United States. But forecasters warn big waves will be reaching the shores of the Atlantic coast after a near miss with Bermuda. Now, the storm could swing a bit left toward the island of Newfoundland in Atlantic Canada. As of Tuesday evening, Hurricane Sam is the most powerful storm on the planet. A major Category 4 hurricane with 140 mile per hour sustained winds. Now, Sam should be able to maintain major hurricane status with light wind shear, the warm waters along its projected path. Sam actually strengthened back to a Category 4 storm Monday night into Tuesday morning after undergoing what meteorologists call an eye wall replacement cycle that occurred Sunday night into Monday. That change in the structure of the inner core caused the eye to become a bit more ragged looking on satellite imagery. The central pressure, the atmospheric pressure, rose a bit. Winds weakened slightly on Monday. But again, re-strengthening by early Tuesday. Winds were back to 130 miles per hour. That's Category 4. And again, by Tuesday evening, back to 140 mile per hour sustained winds. Going back to Sunday afternoon, Sam actually had equaled the intensity of Hurricane Larry from earlier this month, when Sam had sustained winds of 150 miles per hour, just 6 miles per hour shy of reaching Category 5 intensity. But again, the good news here for us, no direct impact aside from big waves that will begin reaching the shores of the eastern seaboard in the coming days, and will continue for several days. All right, back to our calls here. Who's on line? Rob, I believe it is. Morning, Rob.
Morning, Steve. I've called in before, and it's been a while, and I send you emails every now and then. But, talk about the numbers for unemployment and stuff like that right now. We've got diners in my area. I live over by Gilligan, and but diner closes down at 6 o'clock. You don't have anybody to work there. I went by a couple Waffle Houses on the way going down the road. They're closed. Don't have any workers. And you know how Waffle House has been over the years. If they're closed, there was major problems. But now they just closed because they can't even find any workers.
And we're hearing those stories all over the country, Rob. You are 100% correct.
The other question I had, it can go out to you, it can go out to the other drivers. I have a 20-year-old daughter. She lives at home. She's a full-time employee. Do people recommend you start charging her rent when she has no ambitions and doesn't do anything? I'm stuck on this one. So I figured with all the listeners and stuff like that, I might be able to get some answers.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm thinking, you probably need to give some incentive, to get off your duff, right? So she don't want to do anything, just wants to sit at home.
Well, she works her job, but, you ask her to do something around the house, and she's like, well, no, I don't want to do it. And it's like, well, wait a second, something's got to give.
Okay. All right. Well, Rob, it's good to hear from you. It's like you said, it's been a while, but thank you for checking in. Have a good morning, and thanks for being a part of the show. There you go, about 15 past the hour. Let me see. There's a couple people have said that the app is kind of cutting in and out. I'm not sure if you're in a bad area. I'm not seeing. Typically, if something's not working right, I see a bunch of emails and whatnot, to which I would maybe try to reset things, but maybe give me a heads up. All right, meanwhile, it's 844-844-3388. Well, what's going on? Any idea what day it is?
No, I think we can start out with, hey, Mike. What day is it? What day is it?
We've been waiting for that. Happy Hump Day. Hump Day. Yep. Hey, by the way, last Hump Day in the month of September, Horse Feathers.
Where did it go? You know, we were just a week ago saying, holy crap, it's Hump Day already. And now all of a sudden it's Hump Day again. What the heck happened to last week? Where did that go? I mean, the whole week just went by pretty quick. But anyways, I think that last caller there, what was his name, Rob?
Rob, yes.
I think he needs to install some sort of device on the refrigerator door that only allows it to open up for certain people. And if somebody gets hungry, she might decide she wants a different opinion of what she wants to do around the house. You know, if that refrigerator or cupboard door doesn't work to get in there to get the Triscuits or whatever, you know, she might have another opinion when her stomach starts growling a little bit.
Yeah.
So maybe if no work, no food, no. Hey, you know, it's getting to be wintertime. Might be able to shut the heat off. Remove the window, shut the heat off, leave the door closed. You want to sleep? You want to be warm? Well, got to do something to earn the, you know, no sheets on the bed. Maybe you don't have sheets on the bed. I don't know. Who does the laundry? I mean, does she still make mom do the laundry for her, or does she do her own laundry? You know, maybe she's got to wear dirty clothes, you know? I don't know. There's certain things that can happen. Don't have to be so drastic as to pack her suitcase and set it out on the sidewalk, but you could do a lot of other things. So if that don't work, itching powder always does good. Itching powder in the underwear.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, wait a minute, did I say that? I don't know. But anyways, there. Did you see the big news? Did you see the big news from the basketball? Got major breaking news from basketball.
Basketball. No, I must have missed that because I care so much about basketball. What's the breaking news?
Well, your friend and buddy there that used to be in one of the Ohio teams there, and your favorite player there, that LeBron James.
Yeah.
He got the shot.
Oh.
He got the shot.
Oh.
He figured he's gonna lead the way because the NBA can't make a decision to tell their players to get the shot, apparently. Now isn't the NBA like a corporation? Aren't they like a money-making corporation who probably has over 100 employees? Wasn't there some rule that our president made about companies with more than 100 employees? Wouldn't the NBA fall into that category?
They've got a players' union.
Well, so does the people that work for Disney, but apparently, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying. So, I don't know. Anyways, so what was the other thing I saw? Because this was off. I think I don't know. That might have been right from NBC itself. That might not have been Inside Edition. But the other thing I saw there, that Simone Biles there, the gymnast.
Yes.
She's quit. Gave it up. Done. So apparently that Larry Nassar deal there had a major effect on her and has psychologically affected her, and she can't perform or whatever. But she said she shouldn't even gone to Tokyo. She said she was so far out of it, she shouldn't even gone over to Tokyo to been in the Olympics. So I don't know. I guess I ain't never been in that situation. I shouldn't try to judge it. I've never been there to know how that affects or what affects or why things happen the way they do. But anyways, there it is. It's out there. So I don't know. I got an issue. I got a major issue with that because I've had family members that had people in figure skating, and figure skating and gymnastics really aren't that far apart. But I'll tell you what, the parents don't have much problem letting their little kids go off willy-nilly with these people that are supposed to be, you know, in charge of these camps or whatever, you know, and, for the gymnastics and the figure skating and that. They really don't know what their children are doing. I mean, they just kind of send their kids off to be with these people, and you don't know what these people are doing with them. I don't know. It's just I don't know how parent. As again, I haven't ever had a child of my own to do it with, so I guess I shouldn't say, but I think I'd be a lot more in touch with what's going on. You hear about things that go on, and I think I'd be, of course, if I found out that something like that was going on, I'd probably be on the opposite side of the bars at the Crowbar Hotel, because somebody else wouldn't be breathing at this point. But that's you know where that is, because you are a father of a couple kids and grandkids and stuff. So, anyways, but I don't know. So what else we got going on here? Anything special for Hump Day? I heard you talking about that nice Inside Edition story about the nice, lovely truck drivers that we have in this country. That
Pandemonium.
Are so kind and courteous.
You're out of control.
Yeah.
You're on a rampage out there.
Aren't we? We are. I tell you what, I'd like them to ride around and view my dash cam all day of Baltimore, Washington area, of being on the beltways and I-95, and see what their opinion is of what happens around me all day. But anyways, that's as I say. I don't know. Is what it is. Just kind of go on and do what we do. But everything's going to be fine and dandy, because their government's going to pass that $3.5 trillion deal, and the whole world's going to be what is it? We're going to have free bubble up and rainbow stew. Isn't that what Merle Haggard said there in the day?
Something of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah. Eat the rainbow stews. Here we go. But anyways, I don't know. Not a whole lot going on. Had some thunderstorms roll through. We had some nice unsettled weather come our way there. I guess there was a cold front or something that was reacting with warm high pressure and low pressure.
That was that front that pushed through our area overnight last night. We had some rumbles of thunder, and by the time we wrapped up the show, it was rolling through Pennsylvania, all kind of headed your direction. We got a few bursts of pretty heavy rain. Out of that front last evening. All right, quick 2-minute timeout. Lines available at 844-3388. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive, live from the Hot Shot Secret Studios.
You're listening to the Overnight Drive with Steve Sommers.
Pure Flow Air Dog, your leader in fuel air separation system technology. Our systems filter out water, particulates down to 2 micron, and remove all of the air out of your diesel fuel. This allows for nothing but pure, clean diesel fuel to reach the expensive injection system equipped in your vehicle. Not only do our fuel systems protect, they also come in a variety of flow rates to meet your performance needs. Our systems are compact and use OEM-style fittings for easy installation. Learn more about our product at www.pureflowairdog.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Protect your investment with Pure Flow Air Dog.
Drivers, you demand that your equipment's reliable and dependable, and that also applies to your headset for communication. Well, our friends at Stellar Electronic have you covered. The Pluto Duo headset bundle is the best communication headset you can find in the industry. No matter the challenging environment you're driving in, the Pluto headset will make you sound crystal clear all the time thanks to their 99% noise cancellation. And the Duo's not only a stereo converter for the headset, but also a power bank so you can charge as you go. Learn more at StellarElectronic.com or visit them on Facebook.
Some say their truck reflects who they are, dependable and reliable. That's why you trust Blue Def. Now the best just got better. Introducing Blue Def Platinum, a revolutionary innovation with advanced system shield technology to significantly reduce harmful deposits. To maintain fuel economy, save money on costly repairs, and sustain the life of your SCR system, there's only one DEF to choose. Blue Def Platinum. The best just got better.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
Now, what else to cover? plenty to get into. Yeah, let's jump over to our unicorn farts, utopian paradise, pixie dust. The Build Back Better agenda. According to the report, the Democrats' Build Back Better agenda is proof that names can be deceptive. Investigating the $4.5 trillion plan, the Texas Public Policy Foundation gave some crucial economic estimates that reveal the damage that could be done by Joe Biden and the Democrat leaders in Congress. The agenda is made up of two key pieces of legislation. We've got the $3.5 trillion spending bill and the $1 trillion, I thought it was $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, right? Over the course of 10 years, the foundation estimates 5.3 million full-time jobs would be lost. 1.2 trillion in income would be lost, and the long-run GDP would lose $3.7 trillion. The only upward trend over 10 years from this plan is the national debt, which would increase by 16%. When broken down even further, the report explains that median family income could drop by $12,000, and there could be a marginal tax rate increase of 13% for some. Now, as the economy is still in recovery mode from the pandemic, the Democrats' plan would hinder development in the private sector and end up harming average Americans. For example, the proposed corporate tax rate increased to 26.5% would have the harmful trickle-down effect, even if it seems harmless on the surface. If companies are paying more in taxes, that expense is obviously going to be passed on to the consumer. You will see prices increase, and your employers and employees who would risk having their jobs cut. The corporate tax rate would take the United States, make us less competitive with other countries in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, because we would have the third highest rate in the group. According to the Tax Foundation, America's rate would even eclipse communist China's. Regardless, the Biden administration is touting public opinion polls that show a majority of Americans support Build Back Better. Be willing to bet that few Americans know the implications of the agenda, because the establishment media, they pretty much tell you nothing about the negative effects. That's all suppressed. Poll after poll makes it clear the majority of Americans overwhelmingly support my Build Back Better agenda. The quote from the president on Monday: "Let's get it done and deliver for the American people." Democrats scrambling to unite their caucus to get both bills passed before the fiscal year ends tomorrow, Thursday, while trying to avert a looming government shutdown. Yeah, well, if their agenda wins, America loses. Got more on the numbers we can share with you coming up here. Yeah, meanwhile, you've got all these Democrats. You keep hearing this statement: it's going to cost nothing. Biden said the Democrats, this $3.5 trillion binge. Do not believe that. This bill will move us, America, closer to a European-style social welfare state. And it's going to shorten that fuse on the debt bomb that's already set to detonate. Okay, more to come. First, we got to get our news break in here. We'll take care of that, and I want to jump on board. Plenty of room for you. It's 844-844-3388. The Steve Sommers Overnight Drive live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
In Annapolis, Maryland, a man who killed 5 people at a newspaper based in that city is going to spend the rest of his life in prison. In fact, Jared Ramos was given 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole earlier today. 1 life sentence for each of the 5 lives he took when he burst into the Capital Gazette newsroom in June of 2018 and opened fire. Relatives of the victims reacting to the sentencing news outside the courthouse.
3 hard years, and they put an end to our suffering. Thank you.
I put the Constitution book in his pocket because I'm hoping there is justice, and today that Justice Day.
Wall Street paved in red in Tuesday trading. The Dow closed down 570 points. Worst day for the NASDAQ since March, down 2.8%. This is USA Radio News.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing, and you always need to be sticking your fingers. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. You simply apply a discreet, easy-to-use sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger pricks. If you test your blood sugar at least 4 times per day and inject insulin at least 3 times per day, or use an insulin pump and have private insurance or Medicare, you might be eligible for a CGM with little or no cost to you. Call U.S. Medical Supply today for a free benefits check. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill Medicare or your insurance directly. Call now and say goodbye to finger pricks.
800-763-1954. 800-763-1954. 800-763-1954. That's 800-763-1954.
Live from the Hotshot Secret Studios, the Steve Sommers Overnight Drive.
Hi, this is Pete Matouche. In 1999, my brother started the Turbo 3000. We're proud to continue on with his legacy.
The fuel that you've spent your hard-earned money on is completely burned, and that's your profit going right back where it belongs, in your pocket.
For our Canadian customers, you can get the Turbo 3000 from manufacturer direct. Call us at 888-567-1007. For a limited time, save $45 off total purchase using coupon code SteveSaves at turbo3000.com.
For the last 15 years, the Big Rig Mattress has been manufacturing a premium residential mattress for over-the-road truckers. The main support component of the Big Rig Mattress is an individually pocketed spring cord that delivers the optimal amount of support exactly where you need it. Check out thebigrigmattress.com to learn more about this exceptional mattress. Many sizes are stocked and can ship within 72 hours. Custom sizes also available. 100% made in the USA since 2009.
At Hotshot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems. For example,
turbocharger spool time.
Turbochargers are designed to increase the efficiency and power of the diesel engine by forcing compressed air into the combustion chamber. Temperatures inside the turbo can reach upwards of 400 degrees. The oil meant to lubricate the bearings will burn, leaving behind a sticky residue called stiction. The turbo's ability to spool up quickly is hindered because the stiction-covered bearings can't spin properly. Hotshot Secret Stiction Eliminator cleans the stiction from turbo bearings, reducing spool time and builds maximum boost sooner in the RPM range. Stiction Eliminator is a synthetic cleaner plus nano-lubricant that contains no harmful solvents and is formulated to be left in the engine to safely dissolve stiction for thousands of miles. It works as you drive.
Hotshot Secret Stiction Eliminator. Available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at hotshotsecret.com.
Hotshot Secret. Powered by science.
Drivers, you demand that your equipment's reliable and dependable, and that also applies to your headset for communication. Well, our friends at Stellar Electronic have you covered. The Pluto Duo headset bundle is the best communication headset you can find in the industry. No matter the challenging environment you're driving in, the Pluto headset will make you sound crystal clear all the time thanks to their 99% noise cancellation. And the Duo's not only a stereo converter for the headset, but also a power bank so you can charge as you go. Learn more at StellarElectronic.com or visit them on Facebook.
For anything diesel, take it to Scheid Diesel. They provide a wide variety of services and diagnostics to determine what the problem is with the latest technology. From simple oil changes and preventative maintenance to fuel system diagnostics and repairs, engine rebuilds and cylinder head repairs, and rebuilds with our in-house machine shop. They also have on-site DPF cleaning for exhaust issues and DOT inspections. If your diesel is asking for some attention, Scheid Diesel has the specialist you need for anything diesel. Located in Terre Haute and Lafayette, Indiana, and Effingham, Illinois, Scheid Diesel has you covered.
Pure Flow Air Dog, your leader in fuel air separation system technology. Our systems filter out water, particulates down to 2 micron, and remove all of the air out of your diesel fuel. This allows for nothing but pure, clean diesel fuel to reach the expensive injection system equipped in your vehicle. Not only do our fuel systems protect, they also come in a variety of flow rates to meet your performance needs. Our systems are compact and use OEM-style fittings for easy installation. Learn more about our product at www.pureflowairdog.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Protect your investment with Pure Flow Air Dog.
Because Channel 19's a little congested. Call Steve now at 844-844-3388. The Overnight Drive.
All right, thank you much. Welcome back. Let's see. Got an email from RB. YouTube, it says, crashed like 4 times in the last just over hour. It crashed a few times last night as well. Okay. You go through a period where everything's fine, then it starts crashing. I don't know. Let me see here. Then we got email from other listening friends. Steve, wanted to let you know we found out today that a lady who my neighbor, that's like my daughter, and is paid by the government to care for this lady's daughter that's 30 plus years old, has Down syndrome, was fully vaccinated but ended up catching COVID, was on a vent for less than a week and passed away this past morning. The daughters, whose name is Carlin, and I have met as one of the sweetest human beings on the planet, even with her disability. Very distraught and confused. Luckily, her mother has a brother who does care for Carlin often, but it's going to be difficult for everyone involved. I did check into that organization the guy was talking about, Frontline COVID-19 Critical Care Alliance. Looks legit. From what I can tell. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've searched that as well. You've got a number of doctors around the country where you can do like the online, what do you call it? The digital, I guess doctor's visit kind of thing. She said, I'm going to see about what I can do about getting some ivermectin. All right, good luck with that. Sad story. All right, next up on the list. Let me share some of these numbers with you. You've been paying attention to what we've been spending in this country. Last year, of course, lawmakers enacted $3 trillion, and what they is mostly justified deficit spending for this once-in-a-lifetime pandemic. Yet this spending blowout, is about to dwarf those costs. Lawmakers have already enacted a $1.9 trillion stimulus bill filled with unnecessary items like unemployment benefits that exceed the wages for many available jobs, bailouts to states already running budget surpluses. The Senate has passed a $550 billion infrastructure bill that's financed mostly with gimmicks. Biden's 8.4% discretionary spending increase would permanently raise the baseline by $1 trillion over the decade. And now Democrats are trying to pass a $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill that will raise deficits by as much as $1.75 trillion. Even those figures understate the bill's true cost by at least $1 trillion by pretending that policies like the expanded child tax credit will expire within a few years, because we know the Democrat policy is going to ultimately to make them permanent. You add it all up, congressional Democrats are set to commit $8 trillion in new spending over the decade, $6 trillion of which will be borrowed. That is quadruple the net cost of the 2017 tax cuts. Now, it would be enough money. If we wanted to divvy this up, you could eliminate the employee side of the payroll tax. Or you could deposit $60,000 into every family's bank account. But instead, it's going to be spent on a grab bag of long-standing liberal policies. Now, all this debt has a permanent cost. If interest rates ever nudge back up past 3%, this year's $6 trillion borrowing spree will cost $180 billion in additional interest every year, forever. That's $180 billion annually that could otherwise provide tax relief, assist veterans, or improve infrastructure. Instead, it will pay interest to bondholders. What a waste of tax dollars. This year's spending binge is not the end of the story, though. Biden still has $3 trillion in leftover campaign promises covering Social Security, health care, higher education, and other issues. If this entire agenda is enacted, the national debt held by the public, which was just under $17 trillion before the pandemic, would reach $44 trillion with a T a decade from now. The long-term danger is that today's irresponsible government borrowing is set to collide with 74 million baby boomers retiring into Social Security and Medicare systems that are projected by the Congressional Budget Office to run a $112 trillion cash shortfall over the next 30 years, including the resulting budget interest costs. And you can't even wrap your mind around the amount of money that these fools are talking about shoving through this week. Again, with zero Republican support. That's why it's called a reconciliation bill. Don't have to have any Republican support. All right, 16 before the hour. Hello there, Cue Ball. What's going on this morning?
Good morning, Steve. Well, first I'll start out with, I tell my son all the time, who's 17, if he's after high school and he's not pursuing something to make him better beyond a menial job, the phrase I use is I'll put him out like Fred did the cat. You remember the end of the Flintstones where he grabs Fred Flintstone grabs the old saber-toothed cat and puts his ass on the porch? Just make sure you shut the window first, because they'll come in through the window. That's parenting advice for me. I got one that's out of the house and one that's almost out of the house. So that's my advice. This whole thing with, I was thinking about, we were talking the other day about the whole thing with the truckers and all of that, striking, this, that, and the other, over the COVID things. They did that in Australia, but the difference between Australia and here is those guys are actually getting either forced vaccinations or getting that swab shoved up their schnoz on a regular basis. We're over here, none of that started to happen yet. Sure, one day it will, or at least they'll try, but it ain't happening. That's why nobody did anything. least that's how I see it. Right now, the way I look at it, it's like, look, I'm not going to be dealing with any of that nonsense. Okay, I already had COVID. I've got better antibodies than any vaccine will give me. So I'm not going that route. It's not needed. I don't know the long-term effects of it. But like I said on your show earlier, my biggest concern for me with this vaccine is this whole issue with this thing causing some heart inflammation to some people, and that's probably not something I need to be messing with. So with that, I'm not doing it. Now, if I can't remember the guy's name, the doctor who invented the whole mRNA deal. He's been on Hannity, I think, one a few times. Was it Malone or something like that?
Robert Malone, yes.
Yes. And he was explaining how this whole thing's been working. It's kind of weird how the areas with low vaccination rates don't have a lot of cases of COVID, but you got places like Marin County, like San Francisco area, they're almost 100% vaccinated, and their numbers are crazy. The guy was explaining that this whole thing was set up that it was supposed to basically, as an emergency type deal, go to people that are high risk, the elderly, the sick, so on. But now that you've got this max vaccination thing going on, which is hard for me to understand how it all works, but I would take it from the guy that explained, that invented it. I think he knows what the hell he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying that it's the vaccinated that are like, I'm trying to paraphrase it to a way that makes sense to a layman like myself. But basically, the vaccinated people, they can have it on them. They can grow it and hand it off to everybody else, and it really not affect them all that much. So the fact that the COVID numbers are getting bad is actually because of the vaccinated people that don't need to be vaccinated. And that's why the numbers are getting so bad. Almost like that's why they're pushing it. Let me ask you this, Steve. Over there in China, are they literally forcing vaccinations at the point of a gun over there? Or not?
I have no idea.
Anybody know?
No idea what's going on in China. Yeah, you don't get anything out of there.
But they only invented COVID over there. You think they would be but no one seems to know. I've asked that a few times, and no one seems to really know what they're doing there for dealing with the vaccination side of things. Now, we all know that for some reason or another, okay, the way our government works right now, okay, the FBI is busy looking at anybody that was milling around the Capitol on the 6th, but for some reason, a president's crackhead son that makes finger paintings for a whole boatload of money, no one seems to look at that. No one seems to look at a lot of things having to do with these Democrats. Has anybody noticed that the FBI seems to be very picky as far as what they go after and rather what they don't go after?
Mm-hmm.
Even when they had old Hunter Biden's laptop for quite a while, I've said that many times, and I don't think I have enough breath to say it enough. They had that dude's laptop, incriminating him, incriminating his father. First, his kid didn't do anything wrong, but he fell on the sword for his kid, like most fathers would. So I honestly believe that the FBI is holding all this crap over Hunter to make sure Joe does what he's told. Now, why is Joe pushing why is Joe pushing the vaccine so bad and completely ignoring natural immunity? Knowing that, it's not like Dr. Malone's findings are, top secret. They're out there. They know it too. If we know it, so do they. Why are they ignoring it? Why are they pushing something they know will make it worse? Answer, you can't control a population if you don't keep them living in fear. And this whole thing at this point is more along the lines of making the public bend the knee and bow, no different, than any other tyrant has ever done. But they want you to bow at their altar and do what you're told. And if you don't, they will take everything away from you that they can. Or they'll try. That's what I think's going on. I don't think this is unintentional. I think this is absolutely over nothing. It's nothing but control. And that's why they're doing it. They know these vaccines are useless at this point, other than people that are of really, really high risk. Example, my parents, they're in their 70s. My mother just had a conversation with me 2 days ago about it. She said, what do you know about this whole thing with the boosters? And I recommended both my parents get vaccinated with the one that at the time was saying had the highest percentage of, effectiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, and that's what, I think my mom went with Moderna, but it's either way. I recommended that they get vaccinated. And then mom was asked about the boosters. I says, well, from what I'm hearing now from people that I think actually know something, you probably ought to get that booster, but wait 6 months after your last dosage. That's what I've been hearing. So my mom was like, all right, that makes sense. But again, they're in their mid-70s, for Christ's sakes. It's something to worry about. Especially my father with all the other underlying health problems that he's got. Mom's actually doing a lot better than my dad, but, mom's also on the upswing from damn near dying because of the medical neglect during the New Jersey lockdowns. Now, as for me, the only reason I even go to see my parents is because I already had this damn thing and am naturally immune to it. But like I said, they're doing this stuff for a reason. And I think the reason is they know the vaccines are making it worse. Because the guy that invented the vaccines explained these were not designed for everybody to take. It was just for the people that are of high risk. That was it. After that, get on back with life. But if nobody can tell me, I'm willing to bet you that they're not doing this mass vaccination bit in China like they're doing here. Just like everything else. Why do you think they're not managing to handle all the fentanyl that gets sent here? All the things that have been being done to us has been really slow over time to weaken us and take us down very slowly. And COVID right now is no different. And now they're just milking it for all it's worth. Again, just trying to weaken us down. And they're doing everything that they said that they weren't going to do with the Band-Aids and all of that, right? There's how many times you got to hear the audio of Kamala Harris saying, Trump invented the vaccine, I ain't taking it. And then it was the whole thing, we can't mandate it. We're not going to mandate it. Next thing you know, I don't think it was a month later, month or two tops. That's like, yeah, you're going to take it or you're going to get fired and you're not going to get unemployment and you're going to take it and you're going to like it. And people like me are like, no, I'm not. And you probably got a better chance of injecting me with a 9mm than you do with a stupid vaccine that I have absolutely no use for. But that's, again, I don't think this is accidental at all. I think that's all part of the plan right now.
I mean, could this just be a step in the direction of getting us used to have being told to do certain things, and where do you draw the line? What may be next on the list? Do they want the?
I don't know, Steve.
They want the biometric data chip. All these different things that they've been talking about for years. But you're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that unless you do what we tell you to do. I think they're conditioning.
Well, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to bring up a point of something most people don't think about of the past. And believe it or not, you only got to go back about 20 years to realize this. I'm not saying that this was part of the plan, what I'm getting ready to tell you. But in the end result is exactly what you just said. After 9/11, prior to 9/11, let's go all the way back to, let's go back to the 80s. If you were told as an American in 1980 you have to line up against the wall and be searched to travel, you'd have had a handful with that population. But after 9/11, Americans got really used to getting lined up against the wall and searched just to get on a damn plane. That's the incrementalism. Now, I'm not saying that's what the purpose of 9/11 is. But the terrorists sure as hell won because they sure as hell changed the way we live our lives. You can't travel anymore on an airplane without literally getting searched. At this point now, like they're literally grabbing parts of you that they should not be grabbing just to check for something that they think, I mean, really, you really got to lift up the shirt of a little old lady? You're looking for a bomb? I mean, come on, let's be real here. But the point is, Americans got used to that. That's the incrementalism we've been dealing with for a long time. And now it's just gotten even worse. And you got people that go along with it that think everything is just hunky-dory and perfectly okay. There's just nothing wrong with all these mandates. Everything is perfectly fine. And they should be able to force you to do things that you're not willing to do. Kind of funny how that my body, my choice thing kind of went right out the window, didn't it?
In this case, it sure as hell did.
Oh, yeah. And it ain't going to be the end of it, Steve. So my answer to people is real simple. I'm not gonna be for or against regarding like if truck drivers are gonna strike or whatever. Man, they're gonna do what they do. If they do it, I support them. If they don't, I still support them anyway. But here's my view: you got to figure out the best way around it. If you look at all them doctors, all them nurses, and so on getting fired in New York. Well, here's my advice to them: move the hell out of New York. Show them. But make damn sure you remember who did that to you, and make sure you vote the bums out, or don't bring those problems when you move to a free state, like with trucking. A lot of guys. Let's say you're a company driver right now, and you're kind of been on the fence about maybe being an owner operator. Well, if you don't want to take the jab and you have to do it because your company says so, okay, fine. Give them even more of a quote driver shortage, and now go buy your own truck. You're an employee of one. You're now good to go. I've said it many times already. We show up if I show up to a customer and says, "Well, you got to be vaccinated to show up here." Okay, fine. Your freight's on the street. Let me know when you're ready to come and get it, or I'll take it back where I got it from. No problem. Start making them, making it harder on them to do it. With the labor shortage that we're dealing with now, the so-called trucker shortage they're dealing with now, and all of that. Right now, a driver is worth the salt to write his own ticket and put a lot of money in his pocket. All the same while. They don't want you working here? Okay, fine. There's 38 million other places that'll damn sure take your unvaccinated ass and be real happy to do so. There's ways to do it. It's basic civil disobedience without absolutely cutting your nose off.
No.
It's not like you're a nurse in New York where you may or may not have anywhere else to go. You damn sure do.
Well,
have somewhere else to go.
My wife asked me the question a couple of days ago. Had I not been released by the previous company, and I'm not, I don't know. I know they've got more than 100 employees, so I'm assuming that it would be coming down to, what if you were still there? Would you get the shot? Because my daughter is working for a government contractor right now where she's not going to have the option of saying no to the shot and getting tested weekly. Those government contractors are going to be forced to get it. I said, honey, that was my living, and if I were still there, I'd probably, to save my job, get the damn thing. But thank goodness I'm not in that position right now.
Right. Well, not for nothing, Steve, but this is part of what I talk about with other people to try to help try to motivate them. Right. Somebody much smarter than me used to say, sometimes the best thing to happen to people is getting fired, because it forces them to make a change in their life. Maybe a change that they were afraid to do it, but then once they got fired, they had no choice but to do it. In your case, I think not only did you land on your feet after getting let go, I think you're doing better than you were then. Now you're completely unrestricted, and you're in a position to where you can grow this thing to be much bigger than it was wherever you were, in your old gig. So, you know what I mean? You've got a tenacity to take something and build it out of nothing, but you also met the right people. I'm talking about Chris right there. Mm-hmm. So you met the right people, put it all together where they had the faith in you. Now, if you weren't worth your salt, Chris wouldn't have had the faith in you, would he?
I presume,
follow what I'm saying? So
I presume you're correct, yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He didn't just grab anybody, he grabbed you.
Yeah.
So think about it. You've earned your place. So sometimes people might have to just use this to push them into something better. That's my wannabe Tony Robbins moment for the day, right? A little bit of motivation. Take something negative, turn it into a positive best you can. Takes a little stones, but you can get it done. You've done it. I've done it. A lot of other people have done it. A lot better than me. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, Cue Ball, thanks for the motivation. It's good to hear from you. We got to get our top of the hour news update. Have a good morning, and Yeah, a little common sense never hurt, did it? And we'll return after this to Steve Summers' Overnight Drive, live from the Hotshot Secret Studios.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
It's a big week for the Biden administration as Democrats try wrangling key pieces of President Biden's agenda through Congress in face of steep Republican opposition. The latest blow to the White House came on Monday when Senate Republicans blocked a bill that would have funded the government and averted a default in U.S. debts. Senate Minority Leader Kentucky Republican Mitch McConnell on Tuesday criticizes his Democratic colleagues.
If Democrats want to use fast-track, party-line procedures to ram through trillions more in inflationary socialism, they'll have to use the same tools to handle the debt limit.
Richard Stafford, an attorney for Gabby Petito's family, is asking her missing fiancé to turn himself in. Stafford added Brian Laundrie's family didn't help them find Petito, and they won't help find him. USA Radio News.
Hi, I'm Wayne Alaroot for Patriot VPN. Patriot VPN is a virtual private network service that uses military-grade encryption to protect your internet connection on all of your devices. With Patriot VPN, your data and internet privacy is secure anywhere in the world. Why do you need Patriot VPN? Cyber criminals, government, even your own internet service provider collect and use your private information without your knowledge. Examples in the news recently, remember all the companies that have been hacked? Cuba censored the internet to kill protests? Here in America, conservative groups are being actively targeted. Your personal information and internet history is being sold by your ISP. It's all happening every day, but not with Patriot VPN. With Patriot VPN, your internet activity and history is protected from prying eyes forever. Patriot VPN is a veteran-owned business right here in the USA. For business or your family, starting at only $6.95 a month, use code WAR and get 3 months free. With an annual subscription, it's all at PatriotVPN.com. That's PatriotVPN.com.
Busy day on Capitol Hill as Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen also testifying before the Senate Banking Committee after Senate Republicans blocked a bill to keep the United States government funded. Yellen says it would be detrimental to many Americans, including senior citizens and troops, if the debt ceiling is not raised.
It would be disastrous for the American economy, for global financial markets, and for millions of families and workers whose financial security would be jeopardized by delayed payments.
Yellen adding that waiting until the last minute to raise the debt ceiling can undermine confidence in financial markets and credit worthiness of the United States. Jared Ramos, a man who killed 5 people at a Maryland newspaper, will spend the rest of his life in prison. Ramos given multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole Tuesday, more than 3 years after the deadly murders at the Capitol Gazette. USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, and I want to tell you that arthritis is not a genetic thing. It's not a disease of aging. Neither is osteoporosis. Get a hold of my book. It's all in your head. It goes into the 25 different diseases you get when you have osteoporosis of the skull. These are all reversible. You take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, the MSM, vitamin D3, stay away from all the bad foods, including gluten, and guess what? You'll regrow all your bones, including your skull and your legs and your hips and everything else. Contact us at usaradiohealth.com. That's usaradiohealth.com.
A Border Patrol agent is speaking out after comments made by the Biden administration over the last week.
Border Patrol agents are mad and upset that leadership is throwing them under the bus, a top official with the agency's union told Fox News in Del Rio, Texas. National Border Patrol Council Vice President John Anfinson tells Fox News.
The agents feel like at all levels of management, from CBP to DHS to the White House, that they've been thrown under the bus because no investigation has been completed, yet you're hearing the president say these people will pay. The secretary echoed those sentiments, and then Friday, of course, CBP's commissioner basically said the same thing. So agents are upset.
Images of Border Patrol agents on horseback pursuing Haitian migrants went viral with erroneous accusations that the officials were whipping the immigrants. From the USA Radio News, West Texas Bureau, I'm Brad Bernards.
Ford is looking to expand its electric vehicle plants in the United States with a new manufacturing plant in Tennessee and battery manufacturing plants in Kentucky. CEO Jim Farley telling Fox News workers were a key factor in the company's decision to open plants in those states.
The availability of skilled labor in high quantity was one of the key reasons why we're building these sites where they are.
Farley goes on to say the plants will create 11,000 new jobs. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
At Hot Shot Secret, we share the science behind common diesel problems and their solutions. For example,
ultra-low sulfur fuels.
The primary function of diesel fuel is combustibility. One of the little-known aspects of fuel is its role as a lubricant to metal-on-metal moving parts. The introduction of ultra-low sulfur fuels diminishes the fuel's ability to lubricate because sulfur, which has been mostly removed, has lubricating properties. Hot Shot Secret Everyday Diesel Treatment with LX4 delivers unmatched lubricity. Third-party testing confirms that it takes 3 times the amount of leading fuel treatment to match the lubrication benefit of 1 dose of Hot Shot Secret. Everyday Diesel Treatment is a fully formulated 6-in-1 premium fuel treatment for every fill-up, every time.
Everyday Diesel Treatment is available at truck stops, Tractor Supply, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and online at HotShotSecret.com. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Just zooming in on the radar. Texas. Yeah, soggy night in central Texas. Looking at, let's see, from Palestine to Bryan, Texas to San Antone, from Austin to Killeen. Rain, and lots of it. Some heavy rain. And as we were talking in the first hour, where the rain is just kind of training over the same areas for extended periods of time. So be aware of possible water over the roadways and things of that nature. Down in Texas tonight. Slow her down. What's going on, Knucklebuster? Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day to you too, Mr. Steve Summers. Hour and 15 minutes. You done good this time, buddy. Don't answer this question. What are we supposed to be humping? To keep yourself out of trouble there.
Okay.
If Biden keeps on, he's going to make a book of Revelations come true. What do you think?
It's kind of scary, but he's
all
working
his
on
garbage
it.
he keeps putting out. Yeah. Well, we got to have an economic collapse. Rapture of the church, all that good stuff. So I don't know. We might be a long way off from that. We'll leave all that up to God there. Well, I was a 32. Now I'm a 36. If you want to lose weight, quit eating the things that are good for you, like crackers and chips and cake, donuts, bologna. You'll lose weight that way, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm a little upset with horse feathers there. You remember the night Mama Knucklebuster called in?
Of course.
Yeah, well, you know, he'd come on after me, and he said that she had such a sweet young voice and found it all nice and sweet. She keeps playing that to me, Steve, like I'm supposed to be impressed or something. I don't know. I'll forgive him, though. He can get me in trouble all day long there. How about them St. Louis Cardinals, buddy? 17 wins in a row so far.
Wow.
They still got a ways to go, though. Yep. Well, they don't have enough games left to get up to 26 in a row there for the record there, unless they include the playoff. And yeah, people are driving way too fast. Way too fast. I can't speak for the whole country, but down here between Memphis, Tennessee and Dallas, Texas, but they driving 100 mile an hour and they're having crashed. They had a crash over there at Benton in that construction again tonight. It's 60 mile an hour. It's about 6 miles long of construction there, and it had it all backed up over on the east side, but thank God I'm going west there. That Marine Lieutenant Colonel Scheller, they forced him to take a mental health screening, And they've got him locked up in the brig right now for just saying what he said there, that they were wrong for doing it, leaving Afghanistan the way they did.
Wow.
Shame on y'all for locking that man up. He just told you the truth. And I guess Ford's revolutionary new electric vehicle plant to bring 6,000 jobs and trade school to West Tennessee and Kentucky. So they're getting down here in Kentucky and Tennessee to get all that cheap labor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got some sad news today. My boy Alan Jackson, he has a degenerative nerve disease that was hereditary. He got from his daddy. He said he's stumbling around on stage a little bit and wanted to know he wanted everybody to know why he was doing it there. It's called Charcot-Marie tooth disease, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But anyway, he says he's going to play as long as his health allows. He said he's going to create some more songs to leave behind.